Anindo, thank you so much for obliging to do a video on our request.
Thank you.
Okay. This is the first video that we are shooting at Smart Home Expo, especially because I see that you have reintroduced a new series in Sonodyne, which is more focused towards cinema. So why don't you tell me more about this Prevea by Sonodyne?
Yeah, so Privea is one of our three verticals of consumer audio. The first vertical is our luxury home theater, which is called Privea. The second vertical is our custom home cinema, which is a more mainstream home cinema. And our third is our streaming products, which is our Dolby Atmos soundbars.
Okay.
The concept behind Privea is that if you have large rooms, 20 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet in length, then if you are wanting to have a cinematic experience, then you must work as per Dolby standards. Now, Dolby standards dictate a certain level of sound pressure level, a certain kind of directivity. This is not possible with standard soft dome tweeters or normal cone mid-ranges or woofers. For this, you need horn-loaded systems.
Yes.
The only challenge with horn-loaded systems is, well, it sounds like a horn-loaded system. So we understand cinema because we do sound in multiplexes, but our core is in studio. So we understand what near-field monitoring is. So we took our learnings from studio and we adapted that to cinema to create horn-loaded systems that sound like cone systems. So the beauty of Privea is you get Dolby levels of sound pressure levels reference in your home cinema, and you get the loudness, you get the clarity, you get the immersion without it sounding like a horn-loaded system. So that's what Privea is.
Fantastic. So, how many models are we looking at here? Is it like an extensive library, or is it like a very
So we kept
quick
it very small.
3-4?
So we don't sell products. We only sell packages.
Okay.
So depending on the configuration, it's either a 5.1, 1.2, and then it moves upwards. It could be whatever.
Okay.
9.4.6 or whatever it is. And then we configure that package, and then we have solutions for rooms that are up to 25 feet and rooms up to 45 feet. So depending on that configuration, you can choose from two models of LCR. The surround is common and the subwoofer is common. Only the quantity of surrounds and subwoofers keep changing.
Okay, that's interesting. So the types of speakers would not be necessarily same for everybody. It can be totally customized based upon the room.
The subwoofer and the surrounds would be the same. The quantity would change, but the
front LCRs.
The front LCR would be for a 25 feet room, it would be one type, and for a 40 feet room, it would be another type.
Okay. And I saw, this is your second day at the show. We can already start seeing so many queues. I just heard someone say that it's 5 o'clock and you had like 70 demos already completed today. So how does that feel? How's the customer participation, or how is the engagement?
One very important part of this journey is our association with Mahavir Sound Room. See, this is a very niche market. This is not for everybody. So when we started thinking about the go-to market, we wanted to tie up with a company that understands this market clearly, because this market is not driven by price, it's driven by a certain level of performance. Now, Mahavir Sound Room understands this. They also understand what luxury home theater means. And I think with the associations that Mahavir Sound Room and Sonodyne have gathered over the years, it has created a nice buzz, which in turn, because we have done a good job at positioning ourselves, making sure that our channel partners are well taken care of, making sure that at every step there is proper value addition, it has resulted in some kind of a cascading effect so that there's good word of mouth. So not only systems integrators and consultants, but also end users. So we've got, for the first time, I think we've got people with end user specification coming and saying, okay, I want to install it in a room. My room size is this. What is the specification required? So these are good, healthy, hygienic ecosystem. I think.
That's nice. And I'm sure, with the kind of the demo setup that has been done, it's going to give you a lot of, inputs as well as feedback and rewards in the near future.
Yeah, so a huge amount of effort has been taken by Mahavir Sound Room to calibrate the system, but we did it in a couple of hours. There are no real walls here. This is just using some trusses and some cloth.
Fabrics, yeah.
But still, I think the kind of clarity, the dynamics that have been achieved is quite phenomenal. I think for the time given, it's a great achievement.
Yeah.
But once we do a proper room with the proper acoustics, of
Hmm.
course, it sounds incredible.
Okay. And do we also see more line of products, especially with the Atmos headset speakers, or maybe
Yeah.
a passive series of subwoofers, which again
Not
go
in
behind
Privea.
the
Privea is very clear
screen?
what it stands for.
Okay.
But what we will do, I think there's a lot of inputs that we've received on mounting.
Yeah.
Because as Atmos has more and more channels coming in, I think the mounting techniques we will have to adapt more.
Mm.
And now we are moving into the world market with this. So they will have some, I think in Europe there are certain types of brackets that need to be used. So I think it's mainly going to be on the mechanical attributes. I don't think on the electronic or the acoustic attributes there's much change that is desired at this point.
Okay. And how's the journey been? Because you have a big legacy in the studio monitors. How has the transition been? Because I remember since the time I started this venture was the kind of time period where you also started diversifying into the residential segment, which is around 10 to 12 years from today, right?
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, the core of the brand is that we focus on performance and we focus on innovation. So when you talk about whether studio or high-end home audio or commercial audio, as long as those tenets are not disturbed, nothing really changes. The core engineering philosophy does not change.
Yeah.
It's only a question of adapting that engineering philosophy to different segments of audio. That's the only thing that changes. So right now, the core technologies that are driving home audio is immersive technologies.
Yeah.
So Dolby Atmos is a very important part of this. So all this is calibrated Dolby Atmos level. So the new soundbars that will be coming up very soon, that's the next big thing that is happening. So like I said, we have 3 different verticals under consumer audio. One is this Privea, which is very niche luxury systems.
Yes.
Then we have the broader range of home theater systems that we have found a very, very good distribution partner through ProFX, and the acceptance has been tremendous, primarily because there was a gap in high quality, high value Indian systems. And the next thing that you'll see from us is the Dolby Atmos immersive systems for people wanting to experience OTT at home without the paraphernalia of all this, because there's a very large community of people who genuinely love
100%,
OTT,
100%.
but they either have option of get very expensive systems which are imported, or not really high quality systems. So I think we can fill that gap very nicely with our new range of Dolby Atmos soundbars.
So since you're now looking to get the Dolby Atmos licensing, I'm sure
we already
that would be required. So do we also see processors as the next line of items
I don't know.
for the home theater segment?
Our current Dolby license is for the Dolby Atmos soundbars.
Okay.
Processors is not in the wagon wheel right now, but who knows? We're always doing crazy stuff.
Definitely.
Because we're obsessive compulsive disorder with engineering. So we don't know. Maybe.
Good. Thank you so much for your time, Anindo.
Thank you.
And wish you all the best with the Privea series.
And doing this kind of interviews really help us and help the cause. So
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. Bye-bye.